You're listening to the Overly Confident Podcast with your host, Derek Hyde and Garrett Lay.
Hello and welcome to episode 9 of the Overly Confident Podcast. Today we have a very special guest. It is Garrett's dad, the 50-50 reason that Garrett is here and talking to us on
That's
the podcast.
Right. Half of the reason I am where I am today.
Yeah, he's been all around the country as he is a military child. So he's talking about what it was like growing up in
the South. He ate some weird foods. We always end up talking about foods here, so
we do always get somewhere on the topic of foods. There's some weird ones that I'd recommend you stay tuned for, at the very least, because I know I was mortified.
yes.
So without further ado, let's send it over to Garrett's dad and my hairdresser, Mike Lay.
And welcome to this episode of Overly Confident. I think it's episode 9.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
episode
it is.
9? Yeah, it's episode 9. And today we have a special guest. We needed a last-minute guest, so we have gone with my own father. His name is Michael Lay, and he is sitting outside my house right now because we couldn't figure out how to get us sitting in the same room recording on the same mic and on a Zoom call. It was very confusing, so I sent him outside.
How formal of you to call him by his first name.
Well, I feel like the people need to know exactly who they're talking to.
But according to the FaceTime call, it's just M. That's all it is.
It is just M.
Just M.
M for mystery.
Because this is M's device.
It's, yeah.
That's what you named your phone, just M's device.
That's right. There's too many mics in the
dear.
world, so I had to just make it even shorter, down to M. So,
Fair enough.
or I was going to put Garrett's Dad, but that just makes me laugh. So
It makes you laugh that you're my dad? Well, that's fair. I
Wow.
also would laugh if I was my dad.
yeah.
You're like, what a ridiculous thing
So,
to be his dad.
I feel like that
on
would be pretty
cue-
funny if you were
and
looking at all
on
the
cue,
devices.
here we go.
Oh, no
there
way.
we go.
No way. My neighbors
On
have
cue.
arrived.
Here
That is my neighbor Haley. She's now in the background of my dad's call. She might
Hello.
introduce herself. Who
Haley.
knows?
Haley. I'd have to. What do I have to do for her to be able to hear her?
No, you could probably hear it through the headphones.
Okay. Haley, say hi, Garrett.
Hi, Haley.
Can you say hi, Derek?
She doesn't know who I am.
She doesn't know
There's
who Derek is.
Say hi, Derek. Yeah.
Hi.
So Haley stopped over.
So off in the distance, you probably heard my small neighbor named Haley say hello. They tend to spend a lot of time at our house. So
Garrett, please, for the people out there,
yes.
she's young. She's
young.
Not. She's small because she's young.
yeah, that's true. That's a good point. She's not
Okay.
like small because she's like
Right.
a short person,
Right.
but also
Yes.
someone who is young is a short person, right?
Yes.
So really,
for the
I just
most
wanted to make
part.
that- Yes.
that's kind of you to make it clear though, so people don't get
Yes.
like how
She's
big
young.
is this? Yeah.
Yes,
She has a
now sets the record.
Gatorade. She has a
Yeah.
Gatorade.
Well, you have to say it's hot outside. You
It
gotta
is
keep those
hot today.
electrolytes.
It is hot outside.
It's an early morning Gatorade. So, Haley, you're on a podcast right now.
It's 5:00 somewhere.
Maybe Haley will listen.
She wants to know what a podcast is, and we can.
Oh,
it's just
what
a bunch of people
Interesting
talking,
question.
and then they put it on the internet. So, and it might actually be some pictures too. So that's why
It's the fastest growing media platform in the world.
That's
Well,
right.
it was until Joe Rogan ruined it.
Yeah. Now
that-
it's the platform wars.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a big thing. Joe Rogan has become the American dream,
Yeah, dude.
making hundreds of millions of dollars to stream to one platform and one platform only.
I can't believe he's giving up like YouTube too. That's the thing that surprises me.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, because if you think about it, only streaming on Spotify means that his podcast will be audio only, and there is no more visuals
Yeah.
go along with his show.
Yeah, which I don't know if like people, because there's like a JRE Clips account, and I don't know if that's run by him or not. but
Mhm.
like I'm certain that Spotify will go and get all of that taken off.
Yeah, and he's going to
So
lose so much revenue there. I mean, I get it that he's getting a huge
now he's
bag
getting
now,
$100 million, so I don't think he's that worried.
but like his like beyond that signing bonus practically, he's going to be making less, like far less than he was, which I guess is why the signing bonus is there to counteract that.
Yeah.
I think it was an interesting decision.
But hopefully that's where we end up someday, huh?
Yeah.
$100 million. But I'd sell out to Spotify for $100 million. That'd be tough to say no to.
I mean, exactly. I don't know.
So
Unless Spotify introduces a video platform.
yeah, that's true. They could move into that. So anyway, getting back on track here, Dad, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't really know what that entails, but if there's anything else that you would like anyone to know or think is important to understanding who you are, then feel free to share that.
Okay, so I am Garrett's dad, and the reason I'm here is because 10 minutes ago, Garrett and Derek did not have a guest, and
That's
he
true.
kind of said, "Dad, would you like to be a guest?" So I'm now amped up on coffee and said, "Okay, I'll do it," because Garrett's mom and sister are away, and I didn't have anything else to do for the next 45 minutes.
That's very true. That's a very accurate description of why, in fact, he's on the show.
So are you
Yes.
offended that Garrett made it sound like you were the last minute decision?
Oh, not at all. I'm not offended. I just figured that's the way you guys roll.
Yeah, that's
you know.
you know what?
Not
We
all the
did
time.
wait.
He said you could do it some other day, and I'm like, you know what? What better day than today to do it?
That's right.
That's a great mindset. Well, I mean, you have been featured on our Twitter page before, and you just learned about that about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I did not know that I was on your Twitter page. So
yeah, we didn't let him know. So hopefully he
yeah.
won't sue us, and in suing us, me
and himself.
I think there's some things. I think there's some things like that that are better left unknown. You know, I felt better when I didn't know.
Didn't know that you were on our Twitter. That's fair, but now you do know. So
I mean, it was a while ago.
I feel a little less, but I can bank on the fact that it was a little less. Oh, Haley's bringing back our craisins and sunflower seeds.
Oh, we gave them craisins and sunflower seeds.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we let them borrow raisins and craisins and sunflower seeds. Well, I guess they were making something for the. They were making some side dish for their dinner tonight. And,
I hope it wasn't coleslaw.
Craisins. It was not, Garrett. It was broccoli salad.
Okay, wow, that's still a rough one, but you know what? I can get over that.
But if it has, are you a fan of sunflower seeds? I don't think you're not much of a seed guy.
Oh, okay. Let's take a step back here before there's some things you don't know about me, and it is in fact that I quite enjoy sunflower seeds in the shell, like you would eat if you were a baseball player. We got them when we went on our friend's boat yesterday. Just dropping in that we have a friend who has a boat, and they were barbecue sunflower seeds, and they were a great time.
Okay, now those are good. That's not the way the birds get them in the wild, but
yeah, but the naked sunflower seeds, yes, I'm not a huge fan. Craisins, on the other hand, I'm a big advocate for craisins. I like to call them crazy raisins instead of cranberry raisins because they just have such a fun flavor.
Yeah, but they're not raisins.
They're kind of raisins.
I think that's what the C stands for.
It stands for crazy. That's what I'm saying. They're crazy raisins.
Ooh.
They're kind of
thought of it that way.
Yeah, until you buy a raisin that's a strawberry flavor.
Yeah, that's because it's crazy.
But why?
I don't know. Do you think you can could you make a blueberry a raisin? Just spitballing here because they kind of have the same consistency as a grape.
Dude, they made one taste like strawberry. Someone sat in their lab and was like, you know what would make raisins better? If they tasted like different fruits.
Yeah.
This is why we're in the mess we're in. People messing with the natural order of things.
That's true. I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I don't want to make a new GMO
Yeah, see,
made
that's
raisin.
why we're in this mess. Let a
like the
raisin be a
grapples.
raisin, and let a cranberry be a cranberry.
So are you saying that the mess we're in right now is because somebody decided to dry out cranberries and make them into craisins?
And then flavor them.
Is that a possibility?
It's a slippery slope, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm saying that
All right.
it's a slippery slope. Once you start messing with nature, then that's what happens. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. You know what?
And ladies and gents, this is where the name overly confident comes from.
Yeah, if anyone wants to blame anyone for how 2020 is going, figure out who invented craisins and direct all of your blame towards them. Because it is their fault.
Okay, no, I'm not pointing out one particular group that caused this.
That's
I'm
a good
just
clarification.
saying
they're one member of a larger organization.
The mindset that goes, hey, you know what? What we have is not good enough. Why don't we just manufacture this?
Yeah, we want more. We always want more. And now we're in trouble.
You know, what are you going to do?
Started with craisins.
Yeah, you're going to mix a banana and an apple together, and then
they've already done grapes and apples.
Yeah, grapples.
See, like, what are we doing?
Which I've never had. I've
never had the grapples?
No, I've never had a grapple.
I remember Delaney brought them in high school once and had us all try them, and it was very strange because whenever I feel like the aroma is mostly tastes like an apple, but like it smells like a grape. Like, it's really
how about
weird.
have you had the cotton candy grapes?
Mm-hmm.
Those were too much. Those, I think, are actually what did it. That was man reaching too far.
The cotton candy flavored grapes.
That was man just disregarding Mother Nature and saying, I'm going to do what I want. And what I want is a cotton candy flavored grape. And then they did it. And once again, we're here now. They got overly confident, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I tried one of those is I remember I was at Giant Eagle with Sydney in probably junior year of high school, and we couldn't even check out without the Giant Eagle tag that none of us had.
Oh,
and
yes.
One of the substitute teachers at Moon, Miss Hinkle, came by and scanned hers for us so that we could actually check out with the cotton candy grapes. And it was I really don't remember what they taste like, but I don't remember eating them.
I mean, they don't taste like cotton candy, but they don't taste like grape either. So
are they would you say it's like the same nutritional value as like a normal grape?
Probably. I don't think there was any more sugar or anything in there.
Yeah.
But also there's no way they because cotton candy doesn't grow from a seed. So I don't know how they
I don't know how they made that. That's
neither do I. See, I feel like that's the point my dad's getting at. See, we don't even understand where it came from. That's dangerous.
But we're all eating it.
Yeah. It's dangerous stuff.
Gosh. Craisins were a very slippery slope.
Yes.
It is. It's a short putt from craisins to half man, half pig.
Yeah. You know what? 100% correct. Yeah. Soon we'll decide. We'll be like, we can just now if we can make cranberries raisins, then looks like we're gonna make half man pigs. And also COVID-19, probably.
So from craisins to COVID-19
yes.
to real life minotaurs.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be like a bull and a man. That'd be kind of sweet though. Right. That'd be better. I would prefer us to go to something like if I was going to be mixed with an animal.
See, this is the slope you go down.
I know this is a fun conversation we can have now. If I was going to be mixed with an animal, it would be with a peregrine falcon, because peregrine falcons have long been my favorite bird, and they can go very fast.
Hold on. Can we backtrack to the episode you said that big birds were useless?
No. Peregrine falcons are not big birds. Big birds are like ostriches. Anything larger than a goose, they suck. But anything smaller, falcons are cool. Eagles are big birds, right? But they don't walk on the ground all the time. Or have it's really the long necks that get me, I think. Maybe the clarification should be, but then I don't hate flamingos. I don't know. I just have a problem with a select few birds that I don't like. But anyway, if I was going to be mixed with an animal, it would be a peregrine falcon. I would prefer my face be on the peregrine falcon's body so that I could dive out of the air at like 220 miles an hour and like spear a pigeon. But they're pretty cool birds.
So you're interested in eating raw pigeon?
That would be a downside of being the peregrine falcon, but the ability to travel at 220 miles an hour with my own body would be the upside.
Because you're not cooking a pigeon with
No,
your
that's
wings.
fine. I can get over it. I'm a bird. I don't care.
Well, I mean, while we're also down this road, I think we can
you
also
just said
tackle.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, remember, we do have a question from a listener that we can also tackle at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, a question from a listener.
Yes. But anyway, Dad, what animal would
But
you?
I was gonna say this, Garrett. But you just said that you'd like to have your face on the peregrine falcon, so that would mean your mouth would be eating the raw pigeon.
Yes.
You wouldn't have
Okay,
the beak in order to rip the pigeon apart.
But maybe my brain wouldn't. But then I just wouldn't be mixed with the falcon if my brain wasn't in the falcon's body.
Right.
See, this is why it's good that you're still around. It's good that you came on this episode. Yeah, I'd be saying crazy things if it weren't for you.
Like, just what if you snapped your fingers and it happened, and then you were stuck in that, and you're like, didn't think this through.
You know what? Good point. Like if I wished upon a star that I was a falcon, and then you're picking up
rabbits with your, you're going 140 miles an hour, but your nose hits the rabbit.
Oh.
Your existing nose.
Oh, that would hurt so bad.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like maybe my face would kind of ruin the aerodynamics of the falcon, and then maybe I wouldn't be able to dive as fast anyway. And I'd also have to wear like goggles, like a pilot.
Yeah.
Because I would get like stuff would hit me in the eyes.
Yeah, I don't think.
Oh, maybe.
Like, how do falcons that? I don't know.
Maybe this was a bad idea. I'd have to pick something different.
Maybe.
A cheetah, I would be once again.
If I'm, see, that's what I was gonna say. A cheetah, I would say cheetah or sloth. I'd go in directions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those would be drastically different.
What benefits do you get from being a sloth?
I mean, just cheetah. But a sloth?
Yeah.
You just chill all day. Nobody expects anything of you.
That's true. Nobody expects anything.
Look, a sloth. Let's sit. Let's watch him for an hour and see if he moves.
Yeah, it's not like
that would be kind of cool.
It's not like people at the zoo like watch a lion and they're like, oh, like I hope it eats something, or like, oh, I hope the cheetah runs really fast. It's like, no, let's see if the sloth moves at all for the next hour.
It's like a big deal if it crawls halfway up a tree.
And you could just sit there and go, it moved its arm. Be like, awesome. The expectations are low.
Yeah.
For a sloth.
Yeah. If the expectations for me were to, is he going to move today? I would live a very different life.
And couldn't you see how, like, you could just one day just like blow people's minds by like actually getting up and moving around and be like, I saw a sloth. They talk about it forever. I saw a sloth. I saw a sloth run. Be like, oh my.
What? That's never been before observed in the scientific community. You saw it run? Yeah, because like as a peregrine falcon, I would be expected to dive bomb pigeons at high speeds every day, make contact, hit, and destroy the other bird. Like tear it to shreds. But if I'm a sloth, I could just do nothing. And that is how I am expected to exist.
So it's all about the expectation bar. Interesting.
Yeah, it seems so. And how effective you could still be that thing. Like, I think if I mixed my body with a peregrine falcon, I could no longer be a effective peregrine falcon. But if I mix my body, let's say with a sloth, or if my dad were to mix his body with a sloth, I think he certainly could be a good sloth. Like, there'd be few drawbacks.
He would
like
be
if you
the
put your face on
Usain
a sloth.
Bolt of sloths.
Yeah, like if you put human legs on a sloth, you'd be so fast.
Yeah, well, I've seen many of you guys. Sometimes you mind sloths as you're, meandering your way through your day. So
We are sloth-like. I don't disagree. I would
Move a
prefer
bit
to be
more.
more. I would prefer to be even more sloth-like than I already am. I'm sure many would disagree with that, but
Well, when you're
Yeah,
on the Xbox,
I'm not big
sometimes
on
I'm
the
like,
sloth debate.
well, I think that there's times when I'll just say for you, Garrett, when I see you downstairs in the basement on the Xbox, it's like, is he going to move
that's
other than his thumb?
that's
And
fair.
You know,
The
and then
answer is normally
and you
no.
stare at him for an hour and wait to see if he moves.
Yeah.
sometimes I do. I just sit down there and I stare at him to say, is he actually gonna, move other than his thumb?
Because
It's just it's an
I wouldn't
exhibit.
even notice. I wouldn't even notice him.
Right.
I'd be
Who's to
so
say that?
locked in.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah. Every now and then, you know what happens? Every now and then, there's a scream. Other than that, that's all you. That's all
Yeah,
you
I
get.
yell a lot when I'm yell really loud too.
Oh man.
They get kind of annoyed, but it's something I'm passionate about, so that's why I yell all the time.
It'd be
Oh, is
cool
that it?
if a sloth in the zoo yelled once in a while when they got a really good piece of whatever it is they eat.
That'd be awesome if they're like super slow, but like they have just the most blood curdling scream of all
It'd be
time.
like, yes, I just got an awesome bit of bark.
And like, but then they go
I forget
back to
what
being
dogs
completely
eat.
silent. Everyone's like, "What was that? Was that the sloth?" Like, yeah, I think it was the sloth. He was so loud, but that doesn't make any sense.
I'm just trying to imagine a group of zoo goers like standing outside of the sloth exhibit and then just a blood curdling scream come out.
Yeah, like
And everyone's like looking around, like wondering what just happened.
like
Only
that
to
video
find
of
out that it was a sloth.
yeah, basically like if you've ever seen the video of the Roomba that someone modified so that every time it bumped into something, it screams as loud as it can, as if it's in agonizing pain. Like, what if that happened with a sloth? Like when it, like every once in like a blue moon, it just yelled so loud and no one knew what was happening. They have weird mouths too. If you ever look at a sloth mouth,
It's like that it's like that video of the yelling goat from a couple years ago.
yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, if we throw it back to I mean, Garrett's made a lot of bold statements on overly confident, hence the name, hence hating coleslaw. And I know that your dad listens. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind as something that you didn't agree with Garrett as one of his hot takes? Is
Well, he
coleslaw
would.
not the demon?
Well, I think a son and daughter have to separate from their family in some ways, in some small ways maybe. And Garrett would know that I do in fact enjoy coleslaw. In fact, I
Ooh.
enjoy coleslaw immensely. So I think it's I thought it was a little slap in the face to me when he said, if you come to a party with coleslaw, you're whatever he said. I won't even try and.
I just said you suck, I think.
Yeah, he said you suck. So, and
Yeah.
I would be the one, like, say it's around Memorial Day, and without my wife and daughter being here, I'm not going to make anything. So if somebody invited me to a party, I might just go out and buy coleslaw and only bring that.
Ugh. I wouldn't come with
I
you.
know.
I would refuse to show up with you. I'd show up at I'm sure the
And
party would be fun, so I'd show up at some point, but
maybe that's why I would do it. So
Ooh.
ouch.
Turntables have turned.
Fair.
So I do
Fair, though.
enjoy all types of coleslaw. I think it is a legitimate side for a party, and if you bring enough coleslaw, I think that it can count as your dish that you bring. Especially if you sprinkle it with sunflower seeds.
Oh
And
no.
craisins.
No.
Crazy.
That would just make it so much worse.
Well,
Did
it
you
have a little sweetness to it?
Is coleslaw a southern dish? It feels like a southern dish.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and of course, you grew up in the South, at least part of your childhood. You grew up in
Yes,
many
I did.
states.
Yes.
So, which is also why now you like grits, and I also like grits. I know
Yes.
grits are not an extremely popular food, particularly up here in the North, but
I do like
I
grits.
mean,
I
with
also like boiled.
coleslaw, there's
I
many
like
different.
boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts.
Yes.
Yeah. Derek, have you ever had a boiled peanut?
I've never had a boiled.
You've never had a boiled peanut? That's something you have to try. Hey man, it's a controversial food though, because it's just a wet peanut and it's surprisingly tasty.
I don't.
Have you ever?
Do you
It
eat
has,
the shell?
well, you can, but usually you don't because they're soaked in like a saltwater brine,
Mm-hmm.
the boiled peanut.
So I still have to break open the soggy peanut?
Yes, you do. And then you
That
kind of
sounds-
slurp the peanut out of it. Have you ever eaten?
Ew.
It's got the mouthfeel of this. Have you ever eaten a really big booger? It's got
Yeah,
that kind
it
of
does
mouthfeel.
actually feel like that. And the
Yeah.
shell has like
no.
a paper mache consistency, like really like
Yeah.
super wet paper mache, like right after you pull it out of the thing before it would dry. So basically it's a paper mache covered booger, but it
Yum.
tastes
But you know what?
very good.
Surprisingly tasty.
Yeah. But
We
like,
would
yeah,
eat
you
them at
never have them here.
Gosh.
we would eat them at high school football games. So if you get a bag of boiled peanuts, and you could eat them at the football games.
Ew.
Was your high school football team any good?
That, yeah, they were good. It was Georgia.
Oh,
Every high school football team's good in Georgia.
that's true.
I would explain why there's delicacies like boiled peanuts.
At least we thought they were good.
Yeah. When did you
could get a boiled peanut and a dill pickle. You'd be happy.
Oh man.
That's what you get at the concession stand.
Ew. Oh, I'd never go to
one of those big. We'd also down south. You could get the bigs at the movie theater. So for a nickel, you could get a big dill pickle and sit there and chomp away at it at the movies.
Ugh. I would.
Oh my god!
I would never have gone to a high school football game if the concessions were dill pickles and boiled peanuts. Boiled peanuts, I don't mind, but just the fact that those are my options, and like lots of people around me are enjoying them, I don't know if I would go.
Okay, are you not just imagining sitting in a movie theater? The dude next to you has a giant pickle.
That'd be kind of sweet.
And he's just munching away on it.
What you eating?
There was no Derek. I think that was true, except there was no stick.
You're just
You
holding
had
a
to
pickle
hold
in
it
your
in your
hand.
hand.
Ew.
That's
It'd be
even
so
worse.
juicy. Were they like in bags or did they like pull them out of like a jar and just hand them to you like across the counter?
They were in a jar, but then they'd put them in a little bag.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least they
Bagged
weren't like
pickles.
Yeah, like it'd be really weird if they just like reached their bare hand into like a big jar of pickles and just handed it to you across the counter, just dripping pickle juice everywhere, and you just take it with your other bare hand and you just take a huge bite out of it immediately. That would be, I'm glad they at least put it in a bag for the transaction.
Pickles? Who puts pickles in a concession stand?
They're just a little paper bag because you don't want to drip the juice all over the theater, I think. So
The South, and what years did you live in the South?
this was probably in the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s in the
I'm
South were a
old.
strange culinary time.
They were a glorious time here in Pittsburgh.
Um,
Oh, jeez.
when did you play quarterback in foot? Was that middle school when you tore your ACL, or was that high school?
It was midget and
Yeah.
like middle school.
Okay.
It was like little football and then
It was-
like middle school.
It was the only time in which the Lay family would be acceptable because of their dimensions on the football field. Would be midget and middle school football.
Yeah, everybody started growing in high school. I was
Yeah.
small but fast. And here's what would happen sometimes. I played quarterback until the passing downs, and then I became a receiver
Oh, okay.
because they wanted somebody with a stronger arm to actually
Oh.
throw the ball.
So
So
You
you
were
were
a
the
quarterback,
Wildcat
so you were-
See
QB.
over the lineman.
yeah, you were kind of like Lamar Jackson.
No, it sounds
Exactly.
like he was
I
more
never
like
thought of
Taysom
myself that
Hill.
way.
Oh, a little more like, yeah, Taysom Hill. That's fair, but smaller than Taysom Hill. I went with Lamar Jackson just because Lamar isn't a huge dude.
He is
But
lanky.
both of those guys can actually throw the ball. It was more like, okay, I'm the quarterback to hand off and run, but then, we're going to have a passing down. It kind of was a giveaway when I'd split out to wide receiver
Yeah,
and
they-
somebody
it
else
had
Who
to
is
be
behind
who is
center.
scheming?
It had to be a pass.
Yeah.
Head
And
coach didn't
sometimes
seem
it was
that
a
good at
pass to
play
me.
calls.
Sometimes it was a pass to me, and it would be like, okay. I've also, my mom tells the story of how I also played in the defensive secondary, because when you're in midget football, you play offense and defense. And I would stick my nose in there and try and make tackles. And there were times when I would hold on to somebody's jersey and they would drag me until the other players got there to make the tackle. Because people would kind of run. It's kind of like a bull running over you, and like then you can grab its tail as it goes by you. It was more like that. Like the guy would run over me, I'd grab his jersey and then hang on as he drug me towards the end zone.
You're supposed to wrap the legs at that point so that they fall.
Dude, their legs were bigger than me usually, so I was a little scared to wrap up, a cry. And the legs would rip through my arms, and then I would reach up for the jersey and try and hang on until help arrived.
Well, it's still a vital part, because there's no way they could run as fast as they were running normally, dragging you along, even regardless of how much larger than them they were, than you they were. But
so did you play against anyone that did anything with their football career? Like, anyone go to like a big school or anything?
I don't, Derek. This was like it was a long time ago, and it was like middle school football. So no one that I know of, and
I don't know. You hear some of the stories. I mean, like, I think Stephon Diggs' like midget team had like 4 guys who went to the pros or something. Like, it was something crazy like that.
It must have been dogging other teams.
Yeah, I think it was something like Derek. It was like Derrick Henry and maybe Stephon Diggs or something like that. Were on like the same like midget team. I mean, you see these like the teams from the opening out in Oregon at Nike are unreal too. Like KJ Hamler posted his after he got drafted, and it's like KJ's on the same team as Jerry Jeudy and Tua, and they've got even better defensive players. I think all in all they had like 6 or 7 first-round picks on their like 7-a-side team at this just Nike camp, which is ridiculous.
Derek, back in my day, in the middle of Georgia, there were no Nike camps. There were no sponsorships. We were lucky if we all had helmets. Some of us had shoulder pads. So, it was a different world.
Yeah, but if anyone was wondering, I did not play any football.
And at halftime, you get dill pickles instead of
orange
Garrett, Garrett, don't sell yourself short. You did play football. You played flag football at the YMCA.
I did play flag football at the YMCA.
Yes, you did.
That was a long time ago.
I think I helped coach. I helped coach
I think you did.
that team. Mm-hmm.
I think you did. That was a fun time. I remember that. Yeah. I would normally like to play running back.
Yes, you did. Like everyone wanted to play running back.
Yeah, that's true, though. Everyone wanted to play, because then you just got to touch the ball, because we barely ever passed.
Right. Yeah.
So, but yes, YMCA flag football. And then there was also, Derek, I don't know if you remember, I know our friend Aaron played, there was the flag football league that was in the RMU Sports Dome.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, there was one at the Y for like when I was really young. And then I think the RMU Sports Dome one was maybe middle school. Like 6th and 7th grade.
Yeah, I think it was middle school that you did that.
Yeah, I remember that one too. But
was there more passing in that one?
Yes, because we could throw.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We could throw the ball.
Yeah, back when you're only like, I forget what it was at the Y. You guys were all so little. It was just a big bunch of people moving around a field.
Yeah.
And then whoever was fastest won. That's the way it was.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
the RMU one was a little more like football. People would spread out, you'd pass it. There was kickoffs, all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
And if Garrett was good, then you were going to let him go to the high school team, right?
I don't know if my mom would have let me play high school football.
He could have done whatever he wanted, but then he moved on to his illustrious tennis career then.
Tennis instead. Yeah. Very different from football.
Yeah, flag football led you to tennis.
Less contact. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just slightly. There's slightly less contact in tennis than there is in in football.
Derek, Garrett was soccer player until the 8th grade tryouts.
Until I had to run
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about that with Aaron Malloy of the Portland
Yeah.
Timbers about Garrett quitting after a 2-mile run through the neighborhood.
Quitting. I don't like that word. I gave up is what I did.
Was that any
He made
different?
he made it. No, I'd say he made a choice at the beginning of the season that running with a ball over his head.
I was like, this is
not
ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. I'm
Wait,
not
you
gonna
made
do
it through the neighborhood run, but it was the figure eights that got you?
I think it was the combination of the two because we did both on the same day.
Oh, did we really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
But I went to go play basketball instead, and that also, like, we did a lot of running. Like, we ran a lot of suicides. As a matter of fact, I think I might have ended. No, there's no way I ran more, but still, we ran a lot. In basketball. Basketball, if anyone has ever played, is a surprisingly brutal sport in terms of conditioning that I did not see coming, but it was still quite fun.
And it's actually might be more, given the space parameters and the size of the players, it might be a little more physical even than soccer at times.
Yeah, at times, yeah, because you can really hit people. I
In
still think
basketball?
I probably, yeah, but I still feel like I definitely, if I had stuck with soccer, I might have actually ended up starting at some point, unlike basketball, because like you don't have to be super tall to play soccer. Like Christian Pulisic is not very big.
No.
He's not much bigger than I am. So I feel like maybe I basketball certainly was, in terms of dimensions, probably the incorrect sport to choose. But, our friend Fino played basketball and he's not very tall, but he was a little.
Yeah, but now he plays baseball in college, rightfully
Yes.
so.
Yes, rightfully so.
Yes,
Yeah, I think basketball feels like, unless you're really good at basketball for some high schools, some of the basketball players are the people that are trying to stay in shape for their other
that's
sport.
fair.
Yeah.
I know at our
get
high
that
school,
thing.
a bunch of the football players would do it just to kind of do something through the winter.
Unless
Yeah.
you're really good.
I do regret not playing after freshman year though, considering the fact that they went and they won the Whitfield Championship twice.
Yeah, you would have had to
So-
stay there 2 more years to,
Yeah.
to get a ring.
It would have
For
been a
being
lot
the
of work
12th
to
man.
not play ever. But I would have had a ring, so that would have been cool. But what's a ring, man? So if I didn't get to play.
Just the conference ring, not the state one.
Yeah, not the state one. So
Because they would go and lose in the first round of states to a team they had beaten 3 times prior.
I remember watching. I did go to watch them play at the Peterson Event Center at Pitt the one time, and that was kind of cool.
Was that for the second one?
Yeah, that was for the second one. That was our freshman year of college. That was
Why
fun.
didn't you go to the first one? Because I went to both.
I have no idea why I didn't go to the first one. That was too long ago. I can't remember.
Yes. So our high school team won Whitfield championships when we were juniors in high school, which was 4 years ago now. Dang, or 3 years, 3.5 years basically.
Yeah,
You guys weren't announcing those games, were you?
No, not the
Okay.
big ones.
No, we didn't get that position until we were seniors. That was even that was strange.
Yeah. Yeah, Derek and I, if we started our illustrious speaking careers back in high school. I announced the girls' soccer games sometimes. Derek announced a lot of basketball games. Derek, last year or during the winter, you were announcing a tournament again, right?
Yeah, I still work for the high school doing basketball. I know the baseball team wants me to, but they don't really have any equipment that makes announcing easy.
Garrett, Garrett, can you remember any of the things you had to say at soccer for the either beginning or concessions or
not anymore?
Delaney Snyder scores goal number 98.
Yeah. I do remember saying Delaney Snyder has scored a goal 1,000 times, but
let's hear your call of that. See what that was like.
Oh dear. What did I even say?
Come on, just make one up. You know what you're saying.
Okay, it would be because I don't think I would sell goal or anything like that. I wouldn't scream. Because then
it's
their
pretty
head coach would get
monotone.
mad. Yeah, it would be moon goal scored by number 23. Was that her number?
I
don't know.
I think it was 22 or something.
Number 22, Delaney Snyder, assisted by
21.
number 23 was Lauren Baumgartner. So assisted by number 23, Lauren Baumgartner. There.
Yes,
But
and Delaney now plays D1 soccer at Louisville because she
Yes.
scored over 100 goals for our high school soccer.
yeah, that was fun because at least when we were in high school, none of our sports teams were very good, but the girls' soccer team was very good.
Mhm.
So I got to announce some games where they just absolutely thrashed the other team, like 10-1 or something ridiculous.
Girls soccer and basketball. That's all we had.
Yes.
And we only had basketball when Jared Simmons came back, who was just
Yeah.
6'7" and now goes to Penn to play basketball.
Yeah. Neither of us are 6'7".
Now, I'll never forget being in class with Jared and watching him duck into classrooms because that high school wasn't meant for people that
Dude,
tall.
I don't know how you would sit at a desk if you're that tall. Like your knees would be crushed.
I'll have to get in contact with them, see if he'll come on the show.
Oh,
and
yeah, that'd be
tell him
cool.
about it.
That'd be cool.
So, but you guys would sound good when you did your announcing. I think you did all kinds of sports.
That's where we
announcing.
began. Derek stuck with it. He's now doing all his broadcasting stuff, and now he's doing on the big stage.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it all started with the worst experience of my life was announcing senior rec for softball, who didn't have a microphone didn't realize until I got there, to which the leader of their parents came up to me and said, "It's fine, just shout." Like, huh? So I had to stand there like an idiot for 15 minutes shouting the names of softball players to nobody except for the people who are on the field. And I've never felt dumber in my life.
That's fair. I would struggle to find a time in which I felt dumber than if I was just screaming names at people playing softball on a field for 15 minutes.
Yeah, announcing's easy when you have a microphone. When you don't, and you're just shouting.
And you're
it's
just yelling and you
terrible.
feel like a fool.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. You can
Well, then,
sing
Derek, I
national
give you-
anthem without a mic. Don't announce names without a microphone.
I give you credit for keeping with it then. If that was your first experience and you said, "This I'd like to do."
Yeah.
Well, I had already had a
Great.
couple of other sports under my belt by the time I got there. That was just the worst. And after that, I think they
Mhm.
wanted me to go back the next year, and I'm like, not
Great that-
happening.
yeah, it's great that it didn't discourage you though. You're like this.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this sucks. Like I'm never
Yeah.
doing this again.
Well,
Yes. It's good that it is good that it didn't discourage you. And now you're on your way.
yeah, I'm
Sports
doing
Broadcasting
plenty of
Hall of
other
Fame.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Free flights to Michigan and New Jersey, flying around Big Ten country.
Okay. Well, there you go. You should have picked an SEC school to go
Uh,
to.
Well, I don't think I ever looked at an SEC school, honestly.
Okay.
I think I looked
Just-
at Georgia for a hot second and then went,
Okay.
nah.
Was it because of the dill pickles and the boiled peanuts?
Yeah,
Yes.
if you had known that, it would have been, you never would have even given them a second thought. You were like, absolutely not.
Yeah, I was looking
I
through the
wonder-
stadium, saw
I
that
wonder
they
if they
served that.
do.
And
I wonder if they do serve like boiled peanuts in like the dining halls at Georgia.
ew.
I can imagine that they probably do. I would put it this way. I would hope that they
You would
do.
hope so. You would hope. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Dad, for coming on at the last minute. We were happy to have a guest and to learn about a little bit about the South and boiled peanuts, as well as how mankind is pushing it too far with nature. And because of that, we now have COVID-19. That's all for today. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will catch you next week for episode 10 of Overly Confident.